Police are continuing their investigation for evidence leading into the disappearance of a
Roy, Utah woman has taken the search for her into their own hands
tonight. A possible clue has turned up in the mysterious disappearance of a 25-year-old Roy woman.
There was no reason that she would have come here.
KSL's award-winning podcast Cold is back with its third season.
Tonight, investigative reporter and host Dave Cawley reveals the first new pieces of evidence since he's uncovered in a decades-old case.
Cole's discoveries could be the difference in deciding between two suspects here in the disappearance of a young Utah woman.
Cherie Warren walked out of this building in Salt Lake City on October 2nd, 1985. Headed to her car, she told a coworker she was going to pick up her estranged husband at a nearby Toyota dealership.
And that's the last, so far as I know, that she was ever seen or heard of.
Richard Moss is the last person known to have seen Cherie alive.
And I've wondered, whatever happened to her?
A question that's gone unanswered for 37 years. Cherie didn't make it to the dealership. She didn't meet up with her estranged husband or pick up her 3-year-old son as planned.
What we're asking for is just to locate where she may be, or any evidence to show that or indicate that there is maybe some foul play involved, so that we can do a different type of investigation rather than missing persons.
They had no idea why she would disappear, why she would take off.
Former Roy City Detective Jack Bell suspected Cherie's husband, Chuck Warren, from the start.
He never cooperated early at all.
But Jack also had a second suspect in mind.
He said she never showed up.
Cherie had been dating a man named Kerry Hartman while going through her divorce.
She was going to come to his house up on 7th Street later that night. His story was she never showed up. And that's when supposedly Kerry got concerned.
The case grew more complex when a major piece of evidence surfaced hundreds of miles away.
This parking lot right here is the place where in November of 1985, Las Vegas Metro Police found a car belonging to Cherie Warren.
The car was found 4 days ago by security police at the Aladdin Hotel on the Las Vegas Strip.
That opened up a whole new can of worms.
No one could say how it got here, but they did know the circumstances were suspicious.
Police say the car was left unlocked with the windows down and could have been in the lot for weeks.
The question for detectives became, how did Cherie's car get here?
Either she drove the car there herself, or somebody stole the car from her, abducted her, and took the car there.
But who?
Which one of these two birds that I'm looking at have the opportunity to get it down there?
Detective Jack Bell believed Chuck Warren could have done it, then hopped a train back home.
He worked for the railroad. That night, the night she disappeared, or the next day, he took a trip off.
But KSL's Cold podcast has uncovered another possibility. Time cards reveal Kerry Hartman also took time off work the day after Cherie disappeared. He, too, would have had plenty of time to drive her car to Vegas.
And after digging up these old airline timetables, I know he could have caught a flight and been back home before Cherie was first reported missing.
Detective Bell had a missing woman and a mystery on his hands, one that spanned 2 states and pointed to 2 potential, plausible suspects.
Kerry seemed to do everything he could to make Chuck look guilty of Cherie's disappearance. And I must admit he did a pretty good job for a while.
Yeah, looks very compelling there. No one has ever been charged in Cherie's disappearance or presumed murder, and she has never been found. Well, this season's Cold digs into the evidence to try and get to some of those answers. The first episode of Season 3, The Search for Cherie, are out now exclusively on Amazon and free to Prime members.